Coming up on Network Africa, thousands of protesters led by South Africa's opposition parties demand the resignation of President Jacob Zuma. A new report from the UN's Children's Agency, UNICEF, warns of an increase in the use of children as suicide bombers by the Boko Haram group. And Nigerians in South Africa's Limpopo province live in constant fear of being attacked. Welcome to the program. I'm Joke Rogers. Today we begin in South Africa, where several thousands of people have gathered in Pretoria, the capital, demanding the resignation of President Jacob Zuma. The protest, called National Day of Action, was led by members of the Democratic Alliance, the ultra-left Economic Freedom Fighters and other smaller opposition parties. They marched through the streets, culminating in a huge rally outside the Union buildings. The protest comes as President Zuma turns 75. Mr. Zuma has survived similar attempts to oust him, but the protesters believe they can drum up enough support to force him out of office this time.
I'm sick and tired of Jacob Zuma. You know, you are all from ANC, but you know what? You are sick and tired for this Zuma.
We're marching so that Zuma answers for all of the wrongdoings. We want him to step down. If he cannot account for what is right for South Africa. We are fighting for that freedom, for economic freedom. That's what we're fighting for.
So let's get more on this from Channel TV Johannesburg Bureau Chief Betty de Beer. Thank you, Betty, for joining us on the program.
Okay.
What more can you tell us about this anti-Zuma protest?
Well, you basically said it's a coalition of the opposition political parties more this time around, and several groups, civil society organizations, and actually citizens who feel that it's time to express themselves. I think it's more like a moral protest telling the president to think about the country first, ahead of himself. They want him to step down. That's the basic message. They want him to step down. Some of the leaders of the EFF, that's the Economic Freedom Fighters, were saying, look, we're not, because there were some people who didn't, some of the alliance partners of the ANC who said they were not going to protest because they don't support what they term regime change, but they don't want the president to still be in office. They will not be used along with those other people. So to them, the EFF leaders said, we're not against the ANC. We're not trying to effect regime change or hand over our power from the ANC to another party, but we just want, as everybody collectively in those marches are saying, they want him to step down.
It's not the first time that Mr. Zuma is facing such protests. What's different about this one?
Nothing different. The message is basically the same. They want the president to leave office. They believe the strings of scandals, or the string of scandals, and the issues of corruption, hanging court case after court case. They believe it's a little too much, and that he's not upholding the Constitution, defending the Constitution the way he should. And they believe that at one of the cases, especially the case of Nkandla, where the Constitutional Court judges said he failed to uphold the Constitution, they're still holding onto that. We know that several times he's appeared in Parliament, because he's supposed to appear about 4 times to answer questions in every year. Some of the parties like the COPE, that's the Congress of the People, and the EFF usually leave, or the EFF disrupts him for the length of time, and then they're eventually forced out. But COPE usually walks out. So these are all the people together saying, we're willing to overlook our ideological differences. We're willing to overlook places where we differ to collectively get the president out of office. I know what's different here again is that some members of the ANC have spoken out openly, which is not usual, and they believe that they have allies in these people, which is why they're seeking to have secret ballot. They believe they can get more numbers in that, because what is expected is a 50% plus one. You know, you have 400 seats in parliament. If you get 201, they will be able to swing the votes and get the president, not just the president, because this is a motion of no confidence, meaning the president, his entire cabinet, the deputy president, everybody will have to resign from government, and time will be given for a new president to be elected in parliament.
Now, we've seen in the last couple of days that Jacob Zuma does have his own supporters. Now, do you think the opposition-led protest can get enough support to oust the president?
These are protests, but the Constitution is quite clear on the way to get the president out. Through impeachment, through a motion or vote of no confidence, and if the president decides to resign. That is the Constitution, and it's the constitutional democracy that they're running. The protest, you're garnering support from the people, the regular people, and putting it out there, letting the whole world know what those who are protesting feel. Of course, the president still has his support. As we're speaking now, there is a huge party going on in Soweto for his 75th birthday. You know, so he still has huge support, especially in the grassroots, and that's where he's been reaching out to in the past few weeks while all these marches are going on. You know, finally, there's nothing at stake really for him, because he's not seeking re-election as the leader of the ANC. Neither is he going to seek re-election as well, according to the law, in 2019. But it's still a numbers thing. If they get the numbers, then the government will have to resign. The entire government, the parliament, the cabinet, as well as the president and his deputy. But that vote is supposed to be slated for the 18th. But those who tabled the motion or tabled the notice are now asking for a postponement pending the outcome of a court case. A case taken by the UDM, one of the opposition parties, that's United Democratic Movement, asking the Constitutional Court to compel the leader or the Speaker of the Parliament to make room for secret ballot or secret vote in that vote of no confidence. And they want that table, if it succeeds, they want the motion to be tabled after that, and agree time after that, the outcome of that court case.
Right. When the vote of confidence eventually does hold,